In a world with entirely too many shows about cars, this is another pointless automotive podcast.
Welcome back to another Pointless Automotive Podcast. Chadwick and Frank with you again. Let's save Infiniti today.
Oh boy, we gotta do cannonball right into this yacht.
We're not playing around. So we've done these in the past where we try to save a struggling or in this case, clearly struggling automaker. And this time I focused on Infiniti because they used to make some pretty cool stuff back in the day.
I miss the old belt buckle Infiniti logo right on the very front of the Q45. They have like the paisley background with like the Infiniti logo in it.
That's true. I miss the G20, but we'll get into that.
We will.
So this is where we lay out our horrible plans.
How horrible are they?
Well, we're about to find out.
Oh yes.
So oftentimes humorous. Very few times are they actually functional business plans.
Attempted humor.
We both. We're probably the only two visitors on Infiniti's website today.
Exactly. Yeah.
We're going to have some ad traffic coming our way, I'm sure.
I'm half surprised they don't have like the 1997 GeoCities website, like
the counter.
MIDI and the counter. Yeah, like the MIDI music. And
do you remember that when you used to have the HTML classes and you would put like your own counter on your own website?
Exactly. Oh my god, it's at 32 guys. What?
Popping off.
Yes.
So let's do it, man. Frank, I want to default to your game plan first.
Okay.
I want you to run me through. So Infiniti, obviously owned by Nissan, right?
Yes.
Nissan bettering itself recently, having gone through near bankruptcy and a whole bunch of other fun stuff in the recent past. Of course, Infiniti feeling the ripple effects from that. Fun fact: the Infiniti symbol.
Yeah.
Mount Fuji.
Is it?
Isn't that so
Who
cool?
knew?
Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Dude, isn't that awesome?
Call me Fuji.
Yeah, so the symbol is Mount Fuji, so it's really cool.
Yes.
I mean, come on, man. We're gonna have some fun with that. So there you go, little trivia to start us off. But Frank, I want you to save Infiniti. No big deal. Small task for you.
Can we keep dangling this carrot for one more split second? Before we jump into that, can I just rattle off the current state of Infiniti?
Only if you name models that begin with Q.
I think I can make that happen.
Let's hear it.
So, the current Infiniti USA lineup at InfinitiUSA.com, which makes you wonder, is Infiniti with an I.com itself without the USA? Is that taken? Ooh, I don't know. Maybe there's some like high school, some kid who was in high school in like 1986 bought it like super early web and like hasn't relinquished
potentially
the domain. Current available. So there's a little tab. You can click on sedans and coupes, or you can click on crossovers and SUVs. I have taken the liberty to click on all vehicles, which shows me 6 current vehicles, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, 4 of them are just different versions kind of themselves, if that makes sense. So for instance, if I were to click the sedans and coupes tab, I get 1 sedan and 1 coupe, and they are the same car. You and I probably used to call them the lovely G37.
Yeah.
You have the Q50, which is a sedan, and a Q60, which is a coupe, the same damn car. That's it. They have no other coupes or sedans of any size. Okay. SUVs and crossovers. You've got a QX50. What is that? I'm not entirely certain. Nobody is. I think it's roughly a badge engineered fancy pants modern Pathfinder, I think. But I don't even think the current Pathfinder. I think because they just refreshed that. I think it's the previous gen Pathfinder. But I don't know. Nobody does. You can also get the QX55, so you can get a QX50 or a QX55, which looks like a coupier version of the same damn thing.
Yes.
You get a QX60, which I'm not great at math, but I believe that's quote unquote better than the QX50 and 55.
Bigger number, better.
By 5 QXs.
The unit of measure that Infiniti uses, yes.
Yes, the Qs, or when they're bigger Qs than the QXs.
X's, yeah.
Which is, I presume, is for XL. Not like Magic Mike XL, because that would have
Or it could be X like for crossover. But that might have just made sense.
Or maybe X to the Z exhibit. Yeah, I don't know.
X to the...
And you know it's better because the starting MSRP is $50 more than that of the QX55. Because the QX55 starts at $49,150 and this starts at $49,200. And then if you really want to publicly embarrass yourself, you can spend all of your money on the most number of QXs with the QX80, which is $72,700 relative to starting MSRP, which is somewhat spicy. And I think it appears, based on the poorly illustrated profile image of it, which is the only get here, is, I believe, a fancy pants version of the Armada.
It kind of looks like it, yeah.
It appears so. It's Armadian in nature. Not Armani, but Armada. And that is the entire lineup. Nothing sporting, unless maybe your coupe, right? That coupe we were talking about. There's 2 sedans, a couple of crossovers, 2 of which are the same thing, and a Nissan Armada.
So you're starting off your business plan looking at the poor state of Infiniti and how
I think we just
can only go in one direction from here.
One Direction.
Why you listen to One Direction?
I was gonna say I don't know if I know any One Direction song. Isn't that one?
Let's go with that. Yeah,
okay,
that's perfect. No, I have no goddamn idea.
All my life. I think. So yeah, so you set the table. The bar is exceedingly low. Outside of just adding additional Qs or QXs,
wow, yeah,
which then has apparently based on this rubric here also increases the dollars.
Yes.
On how much they cost. So I could do like a Q9000 or a QX 2870, but I'm not going to do that. So first and foremost, what I would do, me. If I were a king of all Infiniti.
Oh.
Do you get like a gauntlet, an Infiniti gauntlet, if you're like the CEO of Infiniti?
I think you do. I can't see how you won't.
All the stones are just like Q this and Q that.
Aw.
Yeah. First off, the entire name, I have in all caps on my little notes here. Kill all the current names.
Fine, yeah.
Put them in a bag, throw them into the ocean. There's maybe you can make an exception for one, if you really wanted to, for one nameplate. If you want to keep a single Q this or a single QX that, fine, whatever. Doesn't affect me or anyone. Nobody cares. That's how much that naming convention is just not impactful,
irrelevant.
Infiniti doesn't have a huge history of nameplates to draw on. And a lot of those nameplates use the same damn naming convention. Like the Q45, the original Infiniti,
yes, is
still a Q whatever. So I want to just update the current Q50 and Q60, which is dinosaurically old.
Yes.
Update that platform. I know you're going to go pie in the sky, so I'm trying to be a little bit more grounded here. Try and work under a budget. Because yeah, that's my role here, is to be a little bit grounded. Yes, I did say a few weeks ago that I might try and have a DP7 as my daily. That aside, I'm trying to be grounded and realistic here.
You did say that.
So I'm bringing back the G37 moniker.
Oh.
If we're keeping, G37, G35, if you do an update and you change the displacement to 37 or 35, okay, fine. Go back to G35.
That's what I was going to say, is you got to keep...
You can do G37. I think that's close enough. It's got some gravitas.
Well, it's when the naming convention was related, like you said, to the engine displacement.
Yes.
So we did a whole episode on vehicle makes and models and how the model names should make sense.
Sure.
I'm with you so far.
So I'm doing that. I'm updating that. Whether you want to have like a hybrid, they had a hybrid for a minute. I think they did a QX50, a Q50 hybrid.
Q50S. You can even get a Q50S hybrid, I believe.
They did an S hybrid, a regular, the red sport, which I would.
Why not a Q60 hybrid?
I would absolutely back to burying like names and killing naming convention. Having your like spicy version be the red sport. Red sport. No, that's terrible. It's
red sport? Is red sport like
first off? No,
it's murder, right?
It's definitely a Pornhub category, I'm sure.
I think it's murder.
It could be. Wouldn't it be red rum sport?
Wait, you think it's a Pornhub category?
It's definitely probably a Pornhub category.
That's definitely period related.
I don't
just leave it out.
It's period correct. We'll say that. So red sport sounds dumb. Get rid of that. I think if you want to have, so you have your standard, you have like bring back a hybrid, maybe a partially plug-in hybrid. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think for the, I think for the, your what will effectively be your mid-range, mid-size sedan and corresponding sporty coupe version. I don't think you necessarily for that one you need to worry about electrification yet. I think you just have it be a sporting quote unquote sporting mid-size sedan.
Okay.
You update what you currently have because we're working on a budget here. And if you do want to do a spicy version, you could do either two versions. You make a grandiose spicy version, like the turbo, right?
Okay.
You keep the same, and you make it kind of loud and garish, and you add maybe special colors, and you add a wing, not too crazy, but you do like a black wing, if you will, ification of it.
Okay.
Because the other one was forgettable.
Correct.
The red sport,
didn't look any different, really.
And you call that one a Nismo. I think you lean into the fact that you are Nissan a little bit. You don't run from it. You can do a Nismo Infiniti product. Or if you want a grown-up version of that, like it's more subdued, but you get all the spicy bits and maybe softer suspension and like you get some less boy racer shit, then you just do the T with the lowercase t. Like you would get on the earlier the J30T touring with the little lowercase t, the touring package, or the G20T. So you have like the grown up. Think like the ST, like a 2007 STI versus STI Limited, where you got the little smaller spoiler, you got leather, you got a sunroof, and it was the more grown up version of the spicy version.
It's kind of like Lexus with their F versus like a Toyota performance thing.
Yes. Question: do you want to go back and forth on this, or should I just plead my whole damn case?
I want to hear your
Okay.
case.
I'll try not to kidnap the entire floor here for like 38 minutes.
You're good.
So right now that's the only like sedan, coupe sedan.
Fair enough.
That's all they have is basically that. They need a proper entry level player. They need to bring back the G20.
Okay.
The OG G20. You base it off of the Sentra. Bear with me.
Even though it was based on the Primera. Close though.
Correct. But now again, I'm trying to be realistic. I'm not saying, although the Primera was a slightly nicer, sportier Sentra.
Slightly different.
At the time, the Sentra was bottom market. Now you have the Versa. I'm not saying don't base it off the Versa. Base it off the Sentra. It's a little bigger, a little nicer, a little less shitty.
Yes.
Those all come with a CVT, and so you probably have to keep the CVT because trying to re-engineer it, put a dual clutch or something dumb in it, I think that's engineering money you're never going to see again. So I think you keep the CVT. You do find a way to offer a 6-speed.
Okay.
So I would want a G20, and maybe the 6-speed is the G20T, and it's a little. You get a little spike. And you don't have to do anything crazy, but if you can find a way to get low 200 horsepower, I'm merely aiming for the Civic SI, which then turned into the Integra.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what I'm aiming for here. You get people, you make it handle well. You don't have to make it too garish. Maybe you do a Nismo and you make a fancy boy racer edition of it. I think that could be fun.
That is cool. Yeah.
But you have to bring that back. Basically, make it an upmarket Sentra. You've already spent the budget on the engineering of the Sentra platform. You work with what you got. Gotta offer a spicier version, whether you call it a loud one with a Nismo or less loud with the lowercase t. Give it a 6-speed. You do that. I think you do need at least. I think the future is not, at least in America, and this is an American brand. So you can't just do like we're going to do 18,000 different cars and no CUVs. I think that some of that stuff's got to be there. Although, you remember, you've got a car that's based off of. You have a luxury branded vehicle that's based off of a car that enthusiasts hate, but it's a reasonably decent appliance and it's good economically and it's good for your brand and your cafe.
Sure, yeah, the Lexus CT200H.
I think you take that same strategy and you apply it to the Nissan Leaf.
Okay.
So you make an Infiniti a nice Leaf. You give it nicer touch points. You give it a little bit more. Less leafy styling, right? The styling, every generation of Leaf does look like
first gen was the worst.
They're all.
The new one's more
The new one's more. What I'm getting at is you don't make it look like a Leaf. You don't make it look like an exercise in fuel economy and being holier than everyone around you with your. You make it not a penalty box. You do what Lexus did, which was like, hey, we'll make it sporty. We'll give it sporting pretenses, even though it is nothing sporty.
Sure.
But it just has the look and the feel. Maybe Maybe you give it a little bit wagony look, maybe a little bit, instead of just a pure hatch. But I think, and you give it a straight up actual name. No G, no Q, no QX. Called the stem. I don't know. Something not leaf.
Yeah.
The trunk, the base, the shaft. It's not the leaf. But you give it a real name.
Okay.
Like the Primera. Maybe you bring that. I don't know. But you have to have that. You still have to have some of these QX vehicles. You have to rename them all. Maybe you keep one as the rebadged Pathfinder one. You work with that. You call it the QX4, which the QX4 was the original QX or whatever, and that was based off of Pathfinder. I would pull, because now they own Mitsubishi, and they helped redo the Outlander. I would pull all of the plug-in electric hybrid stuff out of that Outlander, and I would port it into Infiniti. It's half the same shit anyways.
It's true.
So now you can have a regular called the QX4, maybe do the QX4E, which is a plug-in hybrid, whatever it is, 40-mile range. I know it's not a lot. It's whatever it is, 38. I don't know. And so you have that, right? Upscale, nicer than the Pathfinder, good touch materials. Infinitis, even in their bottom barrel, they're pretty okay with nice touch materials on the inside. They're a pretty nice place to be. It's everything else is forgettable. Shit tech. You have to have modern tech.
Yeah.
You have to keep the dumbass Armada based full-size SUV.
You gotta keep it.
I would market it. I don't even know what it is. I don't know where in the market it's trying to be. I know it basically is effectively a nice tow rig. If you want to be hoity-toity and like tow your boat to the lake, like that's what that car is. It's almost like a Denali competitor.
They still make the Sequoia, Toyota?
Toyota still makes a Sequoia.
So I think it's kind of like a segment competitor with that. Because it's not as expensive as a Land Cruiser, which they don't make anymore. And it's definitely not an LX.
But I think I think you have to straddle both of those. And maybe that's to your detriment. Maybe that's a bad play.
You're trying to be too many things.
Because you're trying to be all things to all men. But I think if you can take that full-size template, tow capacity, that's why you buy it. Yes, the fuel economy sucks, but there's a third row for your kids and their friends that never go anywhere anyways, because they're always inside playing their Pac-Man video games and crushing illegal menthols. So
crushing hookers.
Well, I mean online.
Yeah.
Online.
Oh yeah. True.
And their Twitch streams.
In Minecraft.
That's right. Minecraft. Are there Minecraft prostitutes? Is that a thing?
I mean, we might have to go on the dark web later, but
this slowly turns into the podcast turns into a Twitch stream where we're just like, we're trying to pick up Minecraft. We're trying to like expose the underbelly. We'll be the teacup of Minecraft.
Right.
We'll to catch a predator within Minecraft.
But we'll keep the rare materials they pay us.
Is that how you get paid? I don't even know.
Made that up.
I think there's you mine.
I think I've looked at a Minecraft once.
I don't know. Our kids are going to be educating us about it in the next 4 years.
Exactly.
So I would keep that. Make it as like the luxury towing, hauling beast. I hate the name. I think you find a better way to name it. Maybe give it a real name, like Escalade and Denali, and like you have these other players in the field. Maybe you try and give it something fun. The QX55, I don't even know what that is. Burn it. Just burn it. Push it into sea.
Gone.
The only thing I think is missing left, the last piece of the puzzle, I haven't quite put my finger on the pulse. I think they need a straight up true Halo product that is unique to the brand.
Okay.
So it's very easy to be like, let's do another case of badge engineering. Let's have them wring one more drop of bullshit out of the R35 chassis and do like, an Infiniti R35 supercar. No, I think that's a failure and just would be comically stupid. I think what the other thing, there's two things that are tempting. You either bring back the Q45 as a straight up full size luxury sedan. Because that seems to be what people who are trying to make a splash in the luxury market right now are doing, and I don't agree with it. I think it's short-sighted.
The Telluride, what's the Hyundai one?
Well, the Telluride's an SUV. I'm talking sedan.
Oh,
Q45,
I thought you were still going.
QX.
I'm sorry, I thought you were still on your.
No, I'm just an overall Halo.
Okay, gotcha.
So a Halo product, you can either bring back the Q45 because that seems to be what people are doing. I don't agree with it though. So there's schools of thought. Like Genesis has the G90, Lexus, the LS is still going strong. Tesla, they're like, oh, we've got the Model S, and people are trying to catch up with that. You have all of Germany is hard up for full-size luxury sedans. That's their flagship. Lucid has shown up and saying, hey, we've got the Air, and it's our this is how we make our mark in the market with a full-size luxury sedan. I don't agree with that. I think it's a fun engineering exercise, but I don't think it's the right way to actually grow your business because people aren't buying those.
Right.
I would love to bring back the Q45 in that model, but I don't. That would be fun, but I think that I don't think that would be a good use of their Halo brand. What I think I would do is I would make a Halo SUV with like not like 180 grand Halo, but maybe 80 to 90 Halo, maybe 100 Halo on the most. And I want to bring back the FX series of performance SUVs. Wow. I want to bring back the FX45, the Bionic Cheetah, as they like to call it. And does that mean you have to be a dollar store tourist? No. But if you can find a way to show up to class with a turbo V8, maybe 500 horsepower, you can try and be what the R35 was for performance cars when it came out. For performance SUVs today at the absolute height of performance SUVs. If you can find a way to through better tech and engineering, we have a better performance SUV that punches above its weight, and undercuts the market, and it's an SUV what people buy, and you bring back the FX platform, I think you make that your Infiniti only Halo product.
That's good.
And that is the standard bearer and the flagship, the new Infiniti.
I like it, man. That's awesome.
That's my elevator pitch.
Perfect.
Sponsored by Infiniti. No, we are not sponsored by Infiniti. Infiniti, if you would like to pay us royalties for our ideas, we are at APA Podcast on Instagram.
Bitcoin, we'll take Minecraft hooker money.
Yeah,
anything.
I don't think anyone takes Cum Rocket, but it's out there. Yeah, Garlic Coin, I think is one.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah. There's several shilling coins. I don't know what they call those. I'm not these young kids and they're.
I like it too.
I
really like the FX coming.
How about you, sir? That's my case.
I have to take this vest off because it's restricting my creative freedom.
Oh, I thought you were gonna take it off. You were gonna be wearing like a vintage Infiniti launch.
I'll just show you my new nipple piercings.
What's new?
So here we go, guys. Frank, that was really good, by the way. It's gonna be hard to top.
I don't know. I think there's room for argument there. Shut me out.
High level. We make the brand more youthful and fun.
You mean it's not?
You can't beat Lexus at the game they're trying to play right now. You can't, they're trying to make these kind of they don't change a lot. Lexus is known for that.
They're muscle cars for adults.
Yes. Yeah. The interiors are way better on Lexus. Everything, reliability, you name it. Can't beat them at this game. It's time to go crazy. Need to differentiate the models way bigger, like you named before, naming convention.
I'm so excited.
Q and QX crossover and sedans were gone. Same with mine. So here we go. I'm going to walk you through my product lineup for the new Infiniti.
Ooh, okay.
We're going to start for base level and kind of work our way up to the most expensive model we offer.
I'm going to toggle back over to the Discover Your Infiniti so I can compare it to modern day.
So much like you, my friend, I'm bringing back the G20.
Yeah, it's a must.
So the current entry level is right now for Infiniti is the Q50. You get a 300 horsepower V6, sedan or coupe, and it's fine. But we're going to come in lower than that at a price point because I want to get younger folks interested in the brand. So I know the SR20 is gone, so we're going to need a new power plant, right? So currently,
engineer me one.
Sentra doesn't have a great power plant. They have like
2-liter or something.
149 horsepower 2-liter, which is hilarious because the SER had a 140 horsepower 2-liter in 1991.
Correct. Yes.
Yikes.
And it was a fun 140.
30 years later, how do we gain 9 horsepower, Frank? And it's slower and weighs more.
Giggles and WRX.
Right. Speaking of Infiniti, Nissan 370s. So what we're going to do you remember the Nismo Sentra? This might not. I don't know. This was only for like a year or two.
Yeah, it was not that long ago, right?
No,
It was
2019.
19. Okay,
So-
yeah, my head was 15.
It had a 1.6 liter turbocharged engine, made about 180 horsepower, 188. I should read my notes. 188 horsepower.
Perfect.
So I'm saying it came with a manual, which you can't get in a Sentra anymore.
Mhm.
I'm saying we bring that power plant back to life. I'm sure it's on the shelf somewhere.
Dead.
And we're gonna bump it to like 200 horsepower, offer a manual, and that's it, baby. Our entry level enthusiast sporty new G20.
What's your price point on that?
It's got to come in like low to mid 20s.
Okay. Because I think a base Sentra
It's probably
is like 19 and change.
Yeah.
Yeah, 19,950. For the Sentra S. What about the Baller edition?
So that's
carry on.
Yeah, no, that's it. I say you come in, you use that power plant, more spicy than what the Nissan offers.
Yep.
So this is kind of like the G20 was always similarly powered to the SER Sentra. So why not do this as the old Nismo Sentra? It was the old Hump one.
Yeah.
So we'll bring that over to Infiniti. I think that's a real good place to start.
So we keep it Nismo then too? You going Nismo with me?
Not gonna call it Nismo. I can't
No,
do that.
no.
That's rude. Yeah. You're peeing in the wrong.
Do you get to name it?
I don't know what we'll come up with.
Water sport or like what?
Yeah.
Golden shower edition? Like what?
Twink toilet. No, I don't know. I'll have to work on my naming convention. But I think that's the entrance. Or maybe remember at G20 you put a 2-liter in there instead of a 1.6. But
Could be. Yeah.
bread and butter. So we need to have a mass selling. And this is, I love this one open because I really don't care. So we can do crossover or we can do sedan. I feel like crossover is probably more bread and butter. So it'd be like whatever the new QX50 and 60 are.
Sure.
We're gonna make
whatever
it,
those are. Nobody does.
We're gonna make it one vehicle. We need to cut down on the different naming. You can get a turbo 4-cylinder or a rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. And that's just gonna be our big seller, right? That's gonna be our number pusher. It's gonna be our market share. It's probably going to sell like 40 to 50% of all the Infinitis, but that's fine. We'll keep that alive. Yeah. But we'll slim it down. There won't be a bunch of different names. It'll be awe-thinning, right? After that was boring. I want to skip over that part. So that was the only part of my thing that made business sense. So I want a flagship performance sedan.
Okay, so you did go the other direction. Okay, I'm curious to hear about this because I had some thoughts on it, but I decided to go Bionic Cheetah.
You did. Q50 Red Sport is cool. Like I think the power plant's cool. I think the execution was like phoned in by Infiniti. Mm-hmm. It doesn't look too much to differentiate itself from the other Q50, Q60. I know you get a Red Sport in both. This time we're gonna make it manual as an option.
Okay.
Other than a DCT, I think a DCT would be another great option that'll sell well. But we want to put an emphasis on handling because I think the Red Sport was not a handler out of the box. So we're gonna make this an actual performance car. I'm not trying to like beat up M3s because it won't. They won't get there, but it'll be way more affordable. It'll undercut an M3 and offer some performance chops. You know, that 400 horsepower is nothing to be like.
Yeah, I think those cars, like if you give it a refresh transmission, like as you said,
a good gearbox,
give it a good dual clutch, and you give it
proper suspension,
and you give it modern freaking tech.
Yes.
The tech in that is done. You still get like the pegboard, like
it's ridiculous.
in the middle of the instrument cluster. Like it's silly.
I'm surprised they don't have a car phone still. But what I want to do though is to give this some good looks to make it exciting. Because like I said, the new Infiniti is really focused at the youthful market, right?
You think they can get a hold of Chris Bangle and get him on board?
Yeah.
You can. Yeah, I mean, he did it for the Nightmare 7 series and the Bangle button.
God, that's true. Yeah, we can make it exciting, you know, because you want the Japanese reliability, right?
Right.
Young buyers still aren't buying as many Lexi as they should. Acura's got some cool stuff, so Acura's kind of reimagined itself too. Even like the new, what is it? The MDX is even sporty looking, super sharp angles, super crazy designs.
Yeah, they got the Type S.
The Type S, the Integra came back. So they're doing cool things. I kind of want to follow in their footsteps a little bit. So this will be a performance sedan with that 400 horsepower engine with a manual. Good.
So you're saying reimagine?
Reimagined.
Would you call it
the reimagination
of luxury, as it says right on the Infiniti website?
Look at that. We'll keep our marketing team.
Most of them.
Yeah, keep most of them.
Yeah. I like this guy. I like the cut of his jib.
Yeah, who wrote this? So that's cool. You got to have that. So that's like a step above our bread and butter. Now getting more pricey. I want to come up with something that's not going to be a flagship. It's just going to be an oddity. Because I think companies like to get
Infiniti Juke.
To get people enthusiastic, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to have something that's different. And I think Infiniti, if they want to stand out again, it needs to get the conversation pot stirred. I think we're not talking. Who talks about enthusiast? As an enthusiast, I don't think about Infiniti too much. So that is a fact. But do you remember the M56?
Underrated.
Severely
M56.
underrated.
That whole M series, I really like the M45, the early M45.
How good
M56,
they look too.
M56.
Good looks, good power plants. That 5.6.
A 60?
You couldn't get that with a manual.
Okay.
Only came with an automatic, and I don't think it was anything fancy. It wasn't a dual clutch.
Yeah.
This was like, boy, when was this? 2008 or 9 when that came out?
Something like that. Yeah, maybe even later. Maybe like a 12.
No, because it was back. I tested it in DC.
Oh, okay.
So it had to be like 10 or 11 or 12.
I searched for M56,
9 or 10.
and it's like M56 Scorpion, like a like a straight up like APC.
So yeah, the M56. So it was a very cool car, 5.6 liter V8, similar to what they put in their full size pickups. But the thing is, with this car, it really had some muscular lines to it, right? Which made it stand out from anything else Infiniti was doing at the time. And it had an awesome V8 rumble to it, which was like insane, but the interior was gorgeous. Are you looking it up? I guarantee it's like 2009 or 10.
This is...
No whammy, no whammy. I'll just keep talking while I'm scrolling.
Hybrid version, diesel version. Oh no, this is fantastic. 2010 was the first year. 420 horsepower.
Yeah. The 5.6
direct injection.
ripped.
And they killed it in
2012, right? It was like 2 years.
I think it became the QX70L. Yeah, it's complicated. It's complicated. Let's just say that.
So let's go with that. So harkening back to this Infiniti that made an impact on me on an emotional level, the M56. I want to keep that muscular style, bring it back.
Mm-hmm.
I think kind of like it's weird that retro muscle style is pretty popular now. I think it would be well received to make something more angular. It's kind of like the Hyundai concept car they made that everybody lost their shit about. The electric
or even
concept.
something like the
Scirocco.
Ioniq 5.
Kind of, yeah.
Got a little bit of that.
A little less, but yeah, same flavor.
Mm-hmm.
So bring that back. I want a power plant in there. I don't want to lose the luxury with this car though. Because the M56 had a freaking gorgeous. If you look up M56, everybody listening, please Google M56 interiors.
Just stop in the middle of the highway.
It was very Lexus-esque in the sense that you could get some pretty cool, really good Japanese wood. I can't remember burrowed walnut
wood.
Yeah, Atari Hanzo carved the center stack.
Right.
And really cool interior. So here's the thing, we're bringing that back, guys. So we're going to go with bolder styling over everything else. Even in the new reimagined Infiniti, it's going to stand out.
Okay.
This thing's going to be so weird looking. We're going to drop a big bad V8, kind of a la LC 500 from Lexus. That kind of way of thinking where I think a luxury car with a V8 should be naturally aspirated. I think there's more character. Yeah. More character to that. It's really easy to strap turbos or a supercharger, which no one does anymore.
Or a mild hybrid system.
Sure, yeah, performance-based hybrid system. But I think we do that. I think we drop that naturally aspirated V8 into this big muscular coupe. I don't know what we're gonna call it. I didn't name anything. I just named it like a damn muscle coupe.
Not Q.
Yeah, not a Q thing. But I think that works in this case because those are cool. Those are well received, right? Yeah.
I'm on board.
Yeah, you got any other the last thing. Last thing, I'll round it up.
But there's no.
So we're making a legit off-roader.
Ooh, okay.
So I love what you do with the FX, but I have a soft spot in my heart when I think back to the old QX56 with that same V8 in it.
Sure.
Well, slightly different version of that V8, which was a Nissan Patrol in the rest of the world.
Right.
Right? And
Slash Armada here.
Slash Armada here. Our Armadas were a little less off-roady, I think. We never got knobby tires. Or
They never did like an Armada Nismo or anything.
I don't think they did they?
Off-road.
Yeah,
Yeah.
SR5 version.
What was the one that's like there was Nismo and then they like got in an argument with whoever owned the IP to Nismo because it wasn't owned by them outright, and so then it was like
Was it a
the
Nissan?
SX4. Yeah, it wasn't SX4, but it was
the Frontier, right?
the Frontier. It was a Frontier Nismo, and then it was like the something off-road because they like lost the naming rights to Nismo for
that's funny.
somehow.
That's hilarious.
And now it's back to Nismo. Like you can Nismo stuff again. But for a while, it was like they dropped the Nismo because
Freaking awesome.
somebody did something to somebody's family member that they shouldn't have, and then they ended up losing the rights to Nismo. I don't know.
Aw.
I know. Nismo.
But we're doing it, man. We're gonna make a luxury off-roader, but legitimate, not bullshitty off-road, right?
Yeah, in case of legitimate off-road.
Yeah. So we're gonna make this sort of like Land Cruiser LX hybrid. So we're not gonna go as full luxury as LX, but also make it have the chops of the Land Cruiser.
Okay.
More emphasis on the off-roading look and aesthetic too.
Sure.
So this car, I'm gonna have an option.
Are you not afraid of people like calling it as like Fugazi because it's like
It's not gonna be though. It's gonna be like legitimate.
it will be legit, but
Yeah.
you're gonna emphasize the looks more than the.
No, I'm gonna emphasize the looks to complement what it's actually capable
Got
of.
it.
Yes.
Got it.
Is that how you say it? I say, back east we go Fugazi.
Fugazi. I don't know. I don't have the.
Do you listen to Fugazi at all?
I should. Maybe on the ride
listen
home,
to
I'll
that?
just I'll totally live my punk roots.
Yeah, the lead singer came from Minor Threat.
Yeah. Excellent.
Got them on vinyl. Yeah.
Ooh, I need to up my vinyl game. I've got some good stuff, but
Nice.
it's mostly like stuff the kid picks out. He listens to vinyl.
Ian something?
Not Ian Anderson. He was the lead singer of Jethro Tull.
No, Ian something, because he was super good friends with Henry Rollins.
What other? There's what's the other? The guy with the weird goatee. He was like the bass player from
Anthrax?
Anthrax. Yeah.
I got that right.
Yeah, exactly.
Very
That
different.
me two fingers going like this off my chin.
How did I guess that? We should be good at charades together.
Yeah, I don't forget the guy. But yeah, anyway.
From Fugazi to Anthrax. So yeah, it's gonna legitimately be an off-road. I want factory option like BFG tires to be offered. I want it to be offered with a lift. I want it to have
center locking diff, stuff like that.
Yeah, real locking diffs.
Or just that's the thing. I feel like the locking diff stuff is kind of antiquated. Like all the new stuff has like such advanced like hill descent and like automated crawl control and all that stuff. You just borrow some of that from.
Yeah,
all that stuff's probably licensed from some manufacturer anyways. You just buy the license.
Strap it on there. Yeah.
Yep.
So let's do that. And I mean, off-road low range, real low range gearbox. I want like roof baskets on top, auxiliary lighting.
Yeah.
But
Just
I want
have,
this
like
to
you
be
can totally
badass.
kit it, almost like a Defender kind of competitor. Like a Japanese Defender, where like you can get all the extra add-ons from the factory.
But so here's the thing: price point. We're not going that high. I want this to be a $50,000 to $60,000 vehicle.
Oh boy, that's gonna be a tough nut to crack.
You think so?
I think so.
I think it's pretty cool.
I mean, you spec a Civic and you're 50 now.
Right. But I'm telling you, maybe I don't know. I think it can be done. Like I said, don't focus too much on the luxury on this one.
I mean, you've already fired everybody. You can just bring it to accounting.
Yeah.
You know.
You know how it is.
Yeah.
Our burn rate will be fantastic.
I mean, you're cooking the books anyway. So
Yeah.
you know. Then all of a sudden, somebody has to like smuggle you out of Japan.
That's what I was just gonna say.
Travel trunk or
And some musical.
yeah, exactly. Where are you going with that player piano? Shut up.
I've got some operator friends.
Did it
that
just
can
moan?
help
Shut
me
up.
out. Yeah. But no, that's it, man. I'm coming at you with a whole new brand reimagining. We're making it more youthful. We're having entry-level shit like the G20 with a turbo. We're having bread and butter. We're having performance sedans. We're having a muscle coupe and a legit off-roader with an Infiniti badge.
Quick on the fly, what would you give the new Infiniti? Because you gotta have a new slogan, right? Like Pontiac, we build driving excitement, or Mitsubishi, wake up and drive. Do you have what's your Infiniti? I don't even know what today's Infiniti one is.
They probably don't even have one.
But if you were, cook one up real quick on the fly.
Fuck you, Lexus.
Okay.
How about that?
Infiniti. We're still here. Like I don't know.
You think that? Yeah. I don't know. I think
Remember us?
that'd be fun, man. Bring it back. We're not bankrupt yet. So Infiniti. I think we both presented
Keys in the punch bowl.
horrible cases. Yeah.
Well, fuck your wife. We're Infiniti. Gotta go. Good time.
Yeah.
I think we saved. Do you think they're still with us?
I think a hybrid of our plans gets them in about the same place they are now.
We'll see.
Best case scenario.
We will see. Or who knows? I'm sure there's a lot of people. There's the best case scenario is just shuttering Infiniti. I think they're worth saving. I mean, there's not. They don't have all the story that like trying to save a company like, you know, Jaguar or bring back Pontiac or even Mitsubishi. I mean, all those businesses have like better, you know.
Yeah, but Nissan.
Provenance.
Here's the thing, man. If we had this conversation like 3 years ago, it's a different outlook, right? Like Nissan was struggling. I think Nissan's got some better footing now.
Yeah.
And by default, Infiniti's got that better
hopefully
footing as well.
Default on loans and other things.
I don't think it's going to happen again. But we'll see. I'd love to see Infiniti make a comeback. I'd like to see them say, fuck it, and just reset. I think sometimes you have to do that, right?
Oh, for sure.
I mean, how depressing was that page? It's like Q or QX. Roll the, flip a coin. What do you want?
Yeah, just complete nonsense.
So I think we got some good stuff, man. I really liked yours. I think a hybrid of that list, you could actually come up with something like I'd get excited if they rolled out anything like we're covering today. I'd get legitimately excited about the brand.
I want a Cayenne Turbo dollar store fighter QX FX45.
Sure.
Some audacious styling. You bring back that sick burnt orange with the burnt orange leather.
That's a great
when they launch that thing. It's coming back.
Yeah, we go to an off-road park and you see something tearing up like the frame twister, and you look, it's got an Infiniti badge on it.
Stand up.
You're like, Jesus, what's up?
That roof box.
But yeah, man.
Question.
Let us know, Infiniti.
Speaking of nonsense.
Oh boy.
Are you ready for a game of nonsense?
Yes.
I'm ready. Will you get it queued up? While I get this queued up, will you tell the people at home what we're doing here?
Yes, real quick. We have our automotive print ad quiz. That is a quiz game where we find a automotive print ad from a periodical at the time, a magazine, or I don't even know what else. Gentleman's magazine usually.
Could be.
We're going to read through that ad, omitting anything that gives it away. The other person has 3 attempts to guess what vehicle the other person is poorly describing. You can ask for hints every time you fail at guessing correctly. You have 10 minutes on the clock, which I'm queuing up right now. And Frank?
Yes.
Is going to be the Quizmaster General.
That's me.
And I'm going to be guessing and going and naming a bunch of the cars that is not the correct answer. Frank, go ahead.
I'm ready.
Yeah,
Are you ready?
Let's do it, baby.
Okay, so in today's edition, we have the top 2/3 is our favorite shot, where you see the car, sunset hour. Ooh. You're looking at the passenger front quarter shot, quarter angle. The running lights are on, the headlights are on.
Okay.
In the background, just to really paint this picture, you see a fighter jet trainer. I don't remember what they call those, the T whatever, and both cockpit canopies are slung open. There's two gentlemen. And they're both standing in the background. One is holding a clipboard. One's got the aviator sunglasses on, and they're having a conversation. And this is all happening behind the car, our vehicle. And then it says, the sports coupe that's very comfortable moving in fast company.
Okay.
Within the broad range of automobiles categorized as sports coupes, the standards of performance and luxury vary greatly, usually in direct proportion to price. The blank, however, offers a rare blend of exhilarating sports coupe performance, exceptional luxury, and an uncommon value. 0 to 60, 7.4 seconds. The blank's advanced turbocharged, fuel-injected, intercooled, 2.2 liter, 12 valve, 145 horsepower engine is responsible for this rather spectacular acceleration. And the sophisticated variable assist power steering, 3-mode automatic adjusting suspension, and power-assisted 4-wheel disc brakes all contribute to the outstanding ride, handling, and stability. It's all backed by the blank bumper-to-bumper warranty for 36 months or 50,000 miles. The best in its class. Remarkable comfort and luxury. No sports coupe in its class has more interior room than the blank. It also features power windows and door locks, AM/FM stereo cassette, and much more as standard equipment. For more information, call the toll-free number 1-800-424-0202, extension 701. Sir.
Oh my God, dude.
What motor vehicle are we talking about that's hanging out with this this group of gentlemen and their fighter jet?
So
Presumably the Fast Company they were discussing.
2.2 liter turbo making 145.
145 horsepower. Turbocharged, fuel-injected, intercooled 2.2, 12-valve, 145 horsepower engine.
Wow.
Is responsible for this rather spectacular acceleration.
Definitely called a coupe. 145, 2.2. I did think domestic. For some reason, I went right to Dodge. They made a lot of 2.2 turbo stuff. 145 would have been an earlier iteration of the, not the Turbo 2 engine. It would have been just the
OG.
Yeah, the
turbo.
OG. Who else is making 2.2 turbos? Interesting. This sounds. I wanted to go vegan at first, but those numbers don't make any sense. That sounds like a vegan ad, doesn't it?
Oh shit! Yeah.
Exactly. Like two on the nose.
Yeah, exactly. You hear the there's a fighter jet in it. More jet.
Vegan. Boy, Frank, this is God. There's the problem with the 2.2 from Dodge is they stuffed it in the Daytona, which I owned a Shelby Z, which was a lot more powerful than that. They also stuffed it in the slightly smaller Charger reimagining of the classic muscle car.
Yes.
I kind of feel like, well, they also stuck it in the Omni, but the Omni had more power than that, especially when it had to go like House some more.
I don't think they would have. Did they ever consider? I don't think anyone considered that a coupe.
Yeah, it's a hatchy. Let's go. Probably gonna be 84-ish. Dodge Charger. Final answer.
It is not the Dodge Charger. What kind of hint would you like, my friend?
Oh boy. Is this a domestic vehicle?
This vehicle is not a domestic vehicle.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Wow. 2.2 turbo, 145. Ooh. This is tricky. I think I'm right with the time period, though. I think I am in the mid-80s.
I don't
Sounds
know.
a lot like it, man. Okay, cool. So not domestic. Definitely not going to be European. This is Japanese for sure. Dude, turbos though. I know Nissan had some 2.2 stuff. Nissan have a lot of turbo stuff. I want to say 200 horsepower, but I don't think that's right because I think those had 2 liters. I don't think they ever had a 2.2. Anyway, this is tricky, dude. It's Toyota or Nissan. I can taste it. I can see the ad. I'm trying to formulate the ad in my mind what it looks like. What am I?
I think that's
6
minutes.
minutes left.
Not quite half.
Boy,
Not
this
quite
is
half.
tough. Let's go Nissan. Why not? Why not try the 200 SX turbo? Even though I'm pretty sure it has a 2 liter. Let's go, buddy.
Is that it? That's your
Yeah.
final answer?
Nissan 200 SX.
It is not
The
the
S12.
Nissan. It's not the S12 200 SX. I believe actually that's a 1.8 liter turbo in that.
What
I
is
think
it?
it was the CA, what do they call it? The CA18T
T? Okay.
TE. I think E is fuel injected, T is turbo. I think that's what that was in those turbo cars.
Okay.
So I think that's a 1.8. It is not this vehicle. I think the best hint I can give you is, while this is not, it is this car, this vehicle, this sports coupe is not from it's not a domestic vehicle. It's not made from a domestic manufacturer.
Mm-hmm.
There is another version that's an exact clone of this vehicle that is branded as and sold as a domestic car from a domestic manufacturer here in the United States. So it has an American sports coupe stabling.
It's not the first time these companies have done that.
There's the Whether you would call it a captive import is up for debate, but there's a captive import version if that's the way you want to go.
Oh, this is tough, dude.
From Japan to the United States.
But these were built in Japan, correct?
These, I believe every one of these was built in Japan. And the last little bit I'll give you is front wheel drive.
Boy, I'm gonna mess this up. 2.2 liter turbo. I wanted to say Stereon Conquest, but we were off in displacement and power.
Right.
That would have been a cool one. God, I know they did that a lot. There was like the Colton Gallant. You know the Cordia is the one he's done.
The Cordia turbo, yeah, not the Precise, the Cordia.
It's not Cordia again.
It's not Cordia. Every week I just Cordia.
Could it be? I don't think the 2.2 though. That had like a 1.8. Right? The Colt. We didn't get the Gallant here. We got the Colt.
2 minutes or
Ancient Mitsubishi knowledge.
I'll give you another fact about this car that's not in here. It was, although hard to find, available with 4-wheel steering. It seems like it would go hand in hand.
What was the
1 minute and a half.
Yep.
When we get to 30 seconds, I'll give you one last quick hint.
I know.
I'm just stumped. You're gonna get your 12th hint here in a second, but
I don't know. Those terms get thrown around. Was it a notch?
20 seconds.
I don't know. Where's your special hint?
I'll wait till 10 seconds because it's pretty
It's
close.
gonna take you longer to say that.
The US version is a Ford product.
Ford Probe Turbo. I don't know. That's it. That's time.
The US version is the Ford Turbo.
We're doing the Japanese version.
Yes, it's not a Japanese car. I'm sorry, it is not a US car. It is not.
So it's the Mazda version.
The Mazda MX-6 GT.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
That was a good last guess.
The Mazda.
You did Pontiac, and I counted that.
Well, yeah.
I got it right. I got the Probe Turbo.
When I said it was a Ford.
Come on. That's a tough one, dude. Yeah, the first gen Ford Probe.
Yeah. So here, let me show you the.
They were so cool.
The ad.
So this was the Mazda. Yeah, it's
the sports
GT.
that's very comfortable moving in fast company. The Mazda MX-6 GT, which was, I think I remember, it was 245 horsepower, but I want to say it was something like 230 pound-feet of torque. It was super torquey.
Who says luxury Mazda? Like, not at that time either.
I think could you get a luxury version where it was like all like the E and you got like, but I mean, you gotta think back then, all luxury meant was power windows, locks, and leather.
Yes.
And maybe a sunroof.
I'm gonna get partial credit on that one, dude.
Yeah, that's
kind of, but still, like, dude, that's a weird.
Well, I told you the US version was Ford.
Huh?
I told you the US version.
know.
It's not like the only Ford, like, there weren't a whole lot of Ford truly captive imports. Because like Escort GT is just like the motor.
It's a Mazda Protege. No, the whole body's that car's completely a Mazda Protege.
It's all Mazda.
Yeah.
I thought it was a lot. I thought it was a lot Ford.
No, that's a 323 Protege. Remember when the Protege used to come with a 323 badge or whatever?
The 323.
There were what else was the Mercury Capri?
Yeah, the Capri.
An Italian designed car built in Australia with a Ford badge with a Mazda engine.
Right, named after Capri.
Right.
Yeah,
so it's Italian.
Yeah.
What else did Ford have that was captive though?
Not true. I mean, there's some like gray area stuff, like the show had basically Yamaha engine in it.
Yeah, that wouldn't be full on.
Ranger was the other reverse captive, right? Is it like a Mazda Navajo is like a reverse captive?
Ford and Mazda.
I think.
Yeah, Ford and Mazda had a lot of a shared genetics there.
Speaking of shared genetics, and that's not even like. I'm not even talking about products of incest. I'm talking about what are things that you've been working on. Have you been in a lab with a pen and a pad trying to get your damn Bonneville?
Yes. So my PCP of choice, Project Car Progress.
Yep.
Other than not knowing the Ford Probe GT.
The Ford Probe GT Mazda.
Yes. So in the garage, I've been cooking up a batch of PCP.
That's one of those.
Project Car Progress. Mm-hmm. I have a '93 Bonneville SSE supercharged, fully optioned,
Oh boy.
Lately, I've been doing a little maintenance stuff to get it like wrapped up, cleaned up. So both valve covers, gaskets need to be done.
They saucy.
Yeah, V6s, man, that's like the downfall of the V6, the transverse V6s. That rear valve cover tends to be a challenge. No change of plans on that one. It was still tough. We got it knocked out. Pretty straightforward, and then cleaned the car up as I plan to sell the car shortly.
Yes.
And obviously I'm going to enjoy it for a little bit more. I'm going to shoot a review of it, do that kind of stuff. But full interior detail, exterior detail, car's in pretty damn good shape. We even imaged it.
We did, ready for the cars and the bids potentially.
Potentially, yeah.
Whomever will accept this fine steed.
Oh, it is. And what do you think, man? Was it pretty fun car to
It's pretty
shoot?
dope. Yeah, it's fun. They're just super
interesting.
unique, especially in the interior. Like the exterior, like it's like subdued and loud at the same time.
Yeah, right.
It's an odd shape, but like not an odd shape. Just like a free box sedan, but kind of like got like left in the sun a little bit. But then like things like the rear spoiler and the side strakes and all the cladding kind of wake it back up.
Yep.
And the interior's just little bells and whistles and dings and bongs and switches and switches and switches and switches and switches and switches. It's cool, man.
Yeah,
it's a fun ride.
It's quirked and featured out, I would say, on the interior. But this is cool. These are super rare. The FSEI was like the top of the line trim, and this one was optioned up to that level. They even got their own unique badging, and they were pretty rare birds. I can't remember, honestly, the last time I saw one driving in the wild. Like
it is a Bonneville. Like I know it's a place, and I know it's like the Salt Flats, but like what was that named after? It was like.
I think it was named after Salt Flats, wasn't it?
But like
the original Bonneville, this is like the 11th.
I
should know this. 11th or 12th gen
of
the Bonneville. So I mean, it's been a nameplate that's been in Pontiac's repertoire for quite a while. But it is cool. You don't see a lot of them. I have a soft spot. It is powered by like GM's probably most robust engine of all time, the 3800. Yep. Stout. The numbers won't astound you, but it will outlive you. Maintenance is easy. Parts are so cheap for it. So cool car, and like the condition, honestly, like there are very few probably left in this condition.
Yeah, it's super clean. I mean, you did good on buying it, and you've put some elbow grease into it, and it's crazy. This crazy diamond is shining quite well.
Yeah, cool car. So that's what my PCP has been getting ready, and can't wait to do the review. Actually, I'm sure the numbers aren't going to be great, but I'm sure I'm going to have a blast cruising around in it.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because it's like at the time it was like, oh, it's quick and it's torquey and it's sporty, but like now it's just like quirky and comfy.
Yeah, true.
It is
super comfy.
Love seatian.
The 500 weight adjustable seats with you get your own
well
calculator and like buttons in the middle to adjust everything.
No, that thing's cool. So I think you did well. I'm curious once it's on market. I'm curious what it'll do.
We are both kind of excited to see.
Pumped.
How about you, man? What kind of flavor of PCP have you been doing this past week?
Ooh, boy. Grapefruit? I don't know. Not the grapefruit method. That's a deal. But just grapefruit, I suppose. I've been not getting a lot done.
Good on you.
Yeah. Well, I've been trying to get some, like, my garage is like a dumpster fire right now.
Okay.
So I got some shelving units. I'm going to get those put up. I need to get that done this week. Get it all together. Not this past weekend, but the weekend before, I was down in San Diego. I made the road trip down there in the Galant.
The wheels would jump
there. Exactly. Came back. Weather was fine, except for driving through that mega storm that we had up here in Northern California.
All-wheel drive, baby.
The beauty of all-wheel drive. Although not. Is it sacrilege to use the beauty of all-wheel drive when talking about a Mitsubishi?
Maybe.
A little bit?
Maybe a little bit.
But it did well.
Did you wake up and drive? We can use that one.
I did wake up and then I drove. Because I left the house at like 8:15 a.m. And I made good time though. I got down there like at 3:30. It's not bad. So it did well. Car performed well. The little exhaust leak that I think we picked up somewhere along the road, and the road trip has gotten a little noisier. So I have to address that. It's not catastrophic, but it's noticeable. And I got down there. I let my friend of yours, Doug, play with it, and I'm curious whenever he does his review video of that thing, if you can hear like under load, if you can hear an exhaust leak. It's there's nothing that makes.
Did you go back and double check anything you might have loosened?
I looked kind of cursory, but it's been pouring ass rain so much, super lately, that I haven't really had an opportunity to, unless I just want to get sopping wet.
Just jack up the front. Sometimes that stuff comes loose after you torque it down.
yeah, I'm hoping I didn't just like accidentally torque something a little bit too tight.
Oh no!
And now I've like something's cracked or something's
Righty-tighty, too much righty-loosey.
Yeah, you're not supposed to put everything on like a 1-inch breaker. Like
I do.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Full send.
And you kick it, right? Like this is Sparta.
No, you just put like an 8-inch like an 18-inch pipe over the end of it, and you just keep going.
I'm so used to dealing with 18-inch pipe. It's not even funny.
That's true. Laying it consistently. So that's all I've really done. I need to get dug into that car a little bit. But it made the road trip fine. It performed well. I had a good time down there. I got to go to a Cars and Coffee down there.
Cool.
In Rancho Santa Fe, which is dope. Some really heavy hitting cars down there. Just way over my pay grade. But it was cool. I took the Galant there.
Dope.
So
yeah.
There were people. There were like Huracan STO. The guy showed up and he just bought it for like $430,000 or something. I don't know. There's a bunch of heavy hitting stuff. And like they're my Galant. What is it, Galant? So it was good. So I need to get a little bit more time into that. The brakes are going out on the daily driver. I need to get that done. The wear indicators are yelling at me, and so I need to get that done.
Good time.
Now that it's not raining. But if I can get my damn garage in order, I can just like not work in the rain.
Bad timing, yeah.
So that is all the PCP.
You got this, baby.
I've been huffing. I don't even know how you do PCP. We should figure that out.
Or probably not.
Probably, yeah.
Well, we wanted these less...
more inconspicuous,
like believable when we say PCP. We don't want people to buy into the fact that we actually might be doing PCP.
If you guys do angel dust, let us know how it's done more effectively. Leave a comment or do whatever. However you tell people the ways to do PCP without getting kicked off the internet. Let us know. Maybe I bet there's a video. You think there's a YouTube video on how to do PCP?
I kind of feel like that. It's definitely not monetized, but there might be.
It might be. Can you monetize? I don't know. We'll have to make one. We'll have to make a PCP video, and we'll do like the shocked YouTuber face, like I do PCP. Oh my god! I'll have like my mom in the background doing the like holding the head, like oh my god, I'm doing PCP. All like the neon green outline in the back.
Your wife holding the bills.
Holding up, marriage certificate tearing it in half, like child weeping in the corner. It'll be great.
On that imagery,
goodbye.
Well, forever. Thanks for joining us again, guys. APA Podcast, another Pointless Automotive Podcast. Please follow along on our Instagram. We will promise to put junk up there every once in a while, mostly our junk. We do have a YouTube presence. Follow us there. Subscribe. It's free this month only. Go ahead and do that. Listen where you listen to your podcast, Spotify, Apple, whatever. Do whatever you got to do. Rank us on your respective podcasts.
Yeah, you don't have to rank us highly, but do whatever. Rank, review. No news is good news. I've always all news is good news. I don't know. There's no bad
fake news.
Exactly.
Just realistically rank us. We appreciate any feedback. And Frank, where can the good people follow you in your solo endeavors?
Little old me. So I am at the Photographer's Garage. That's on the Instagrams mostly, a little bit on the YouTubes. How about you, sir?
Auto Obsessive Garage, mostly on the tubes. Car rescues and restorations. On the grams as well.
That's it.
That's it, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Toodles.
Take care.